And I wanted to say something else too. When you are learning a language, I'm not the only one that has a lot of anxiety with using it with the native speakers because you're afraid of getting it wrong. You're afraid of sounding stupid. You're afraid they're going to make fun of you. And I've had it happen. So back in Colorado, I taught English as a second language to Mandarin speakers, and that was when I started to learn Mandarin Chinese. And I'm trying to expand on that. In fact, I haven't been on it for a few days, and I probably forgot everything, so I need to go get back to that today. But Chinese is a difficult language. It is. It's not really difficult. Like the grammar is not that difficult. The tones are you got to learn those. And so here's what happened to me. I was starting to learn it, and so I had learned how to say hello, my name is, introduce myself and stuff. And I had tried to move to Cheyenne, Wyoming. So I actually I got a place right away in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and I had an apartment there. And I was downtown at a McDonald's or something, I think, and there were some Chinese speakers and I heard them speaking in Chinese to one another, two girls, young girls, and I thought I would try to speak them in Chinese. So I came up and I tried to say, my name is, and I just recently found out what I did wrong. I did not know what I did wrong. It took me years, and to be honest with you, I just recently figured it out because of a course I'm taking in Chinese, which I need to get back to as well. I had a break from this stuff, and now I'm all lost. But consistency is a problem here. But anyway, I went up to these girls, and what I said was, "Wo Jiao, my name. That's not right. Wo is right for me, but it's, let me see if I can do it. It's Wa Jiao." So you're going like this with the tone, and it's indicated by a little thing like this. So Wa Jiao, but I said Wa Jiao. That's wrong, and that's the subtlety that's in Chinese, and they made fun of me. They laughed at me. They parroted me. She said this. Literally they made fun of me, and I was crushed, absolutely crushed. You're so scared to speak the language. You're scared you're going to do something like that. And when I did, and them making fun of me, I just felt ashamed. And it was so bad for me that I would not speak Chinese. I would not even try it for a very long time. Recently, I determined I was going to try to develop some fluency. I still haven't, but I know a lot more than I used to, and I've been working really hard on it. You saw my little notebook. I've been working really hard on it. I'm getting to where I can. What comes first for me in a language is not the speaking. What comes first for me is the understanding of it. So, for instance, Spanish speakers, I get every word. I usually, unless I use a word that I'm not familiar with or something, but I usually get pretty much the sense of what they're saying, every word. But for me to speak it, I need to practice. I need practice. Um, and that's just it. And then with French, well, I need practice with French too. But with French, I had years of French, years, and I did composition, and I even composed poetry in French, and I had business French, and I had just tons and tons and tons of French, and we read books in French, which, by the way, reading books in a language is very helpful. Um, and I've just done a lot of French, and then I started speaking to people in French, and it was hard. The way I started myself doing it, this is a tip for people, is I memorized a little bit. I memorized maybe a line or two. And I could say that. And then I would get some good feedback. Hey, your French is pretty good. And then I would say, oh, I can do this, And it boosted it encouraged me. It boosted my confidence. And when that happened, then the rest of it that I'd been studying for years started to come better and quickly and more naturally. So it's like memorizing a couple sentences primed the pump. If you know what I mean, it it just got it going. It got it going, got it started. And once it started, it continued to flow. I think it's sort of like it's in there, but you got to get it to come out here. And so learning a language is one thing, understanding a language is another, reading a language is another, writing is, I think reading and writing go together, and speaking it is a whole different ballgame. You just need practice. So the reason I'm making this video is I messed up yesterday trying to speak Spanish, and I was just really embarrassed. And sometimes I'm trying to. This morning I studied it because I want to make myself study it. I don't want to just drop it, because if I'm embarrassed, sometimes I won't speak it anymore. And I'm not really keen on Spanish, but I'm still trying to study it, and I'm trying to push myself to get a little bit better, so that maybe I don't do that again, you know. So, and I bombed on Italian the other day too, and I just, when I was confronted suddenly with an Italian speaker, I just chose not to do it because I didn't want to mess up, and I didn't want her making fun of me. And so there's a lot of, at least, I don't know, with Americans, I guess, I don't know about other countries, but I had a job in Nebraska, and it was Ulta Beauty. I worked at Ulta Beauty, and we had Chinese students that came in. And I mentioned to one of them that I spoke some Chinese, and she says, "Why don't you use it?" And I said, "Well, I got it wrong once, and somebody made fun of me, and I said, I'm afraid I'll get it wrong." And she said, "Well," and this was a Chinese speaker, she said, "We feel the same way about English. We have the same fear about English." She said, "So use it." And I was like, okay, point taken. Good point. And so, I can't tell you if you're trying to use a new language, I can't tell you that they won't make fun of you. They might. And it hurts. After you try so hard, it hurts. But don't give up. Just don't give up. I think that's the key to everything. Just don't give up.